Hello dear students, I am Dr. Shikha Pandey, Associate Professor from Institute of Aeronautical Engineering. So today I am going to discuss on the topic that is soil erosion and then reclamation of degraded land and desertification and its control. So let's start the lecture with the first point, that is soil erosion, and after the soil erosion we'll discuss about the desertification and then land degradation. So all these things are interconnected with each other, because soil erosion will sometimes leads to desertification and sometimes degraded land, and restoration of this degraded land into again restoration of this land. So that's why we are going to study first of all with the soil erosion. So soil can be defined as a uppermost weathered and disintegrated layer of earth crust, which is composed of minerals and several organic substances. So this is what is soil. Soil is the topmost layer of earth crust that will be contains most of the minerals and many organic substances. That's why this soil is very much important. Soil is the top layer of the earth crust, which contains many organic minerals and organic substances. So in general, the depth of soil varies from place to places. The depth of a soil will vary from place to place. Like for example, at any place where it is to great depth and somewhere it is nil. So what will happen, up to some place it will be having more depth and sometimes it will be having no depth. So the depth of soil is varies from place to place because of due to hilly area. In a hilly region it is something different, like in desert region or in plain region it is something different. So however, the top 30 centimeter of soil, means up to 30 centimeter of soil, up to 30 centimeter of the top layer of soil depth is very much useful. Only up to 30 meter of soil is very much useful for human beings and wildlife. This top layer is continuously exposed to the action of atmospheric activities. So up to 30 centimeter of the soil level is very much important for human beings and wildlife, and this layer, only this 30 centimeter layer, is continuously exposing with the humans and atmospheric activities. So this is the fate about the soil. Like the profile of soil will vary, the depth of soil will vary from place to place. But on a plain region, if we will talk about a plain region, it will be like only 30 centimeter depth is useful for both human and wildlife. So up to 30 centimeter only it is useful for human beings and wildlife. And what is the main force that has been continuously exposing with this soil? So that's why this erosion is there. From where this erosion is coming out? So up to that 30 centimeter of soil, that layer is continuously exposing with the external forces like atmospheric activities and action of forces. So next point is that the water and wind are two main active forces. So the two thing is there, water and wind, that will be main two active forces which always dislodge the topsoil layer and transport them from one place to another place, is called as soil erosion. So up to 30 centimeter of soil is only useful soil, is exposing with atmospheric condition, and these atmospheric activities are like, first one is the water and wind. So the displacement of soil particles due to water, due to wind, is called as soil erosion. So dislocation of the top layer and to transport them from one place to another place is called as soil erosion. Soil erosion will be happen by any external force like water or wind, because they are the main two active forces that is present, and they, due to all these forces, the movement of soil from one place to another place is called as soil erosion. And in general, if we talk about soil erosion, it is the removal of top layer of soil is called as soil erosion. So the removal of top layer of soil will decrease the fertility, will affect the agriculture. This soil erosion is very much having too much negative effect on environment also, because soil is not bounded properly. It can be moved from one person to one place to another place by sometimes by wind, sometimes by water. So this is called as dislocation of soil from one place to another place, and that will leads to the decrease in the soil fertility. This will leads to decrease in the soil fertility because soil will have many organic compounds. It have many organic substances, many organic minerals are there. That mineral, that organic compounds is very much useful for the crop production. So due to this soil erosion, due to dislocation of soil from one place to another place, the fertility of the soil is going to be decreases. That's why this soil erosion is a great concern for today's world. Next point is that we can define it is a three-phase phenomena. This soil erosion is a three-phase phenomena, like it consists the detachment of individual soil particle from soil mass and their transport by erosive agents like running water or wind. So what are the erosive agents? Soil erosion is the movement of soil, and this movement is caused by some agents. This agent is called as erosive agent, and this is erosive agent are air and water, wind or water. So this is about the soil erosion. Means this soil erosion is of three-phase phenomena. If we'll talk about, first of all, detachment of soil particle from soil mass. Detachment from soil mass. This will be soil mass. So particle will be detached from soil mass. So first phenomena is this, and then the movement of soil mass and their transport and its transportation from one place to another place by any erosive agent. It's a transport by erosive agent, and these agents are called as either running water or wind. So this was about the soil erosion. So next point is that when sufficient energy is no longer available with erosive agent to transport the particles, then the third phase is called as deposition takes place. So if that erosive agent will not have that much supporting energy, not have that much of sufficient energy, then the third phase will occur. This is called as deposition. Means that deposition will take place, means that soil mass will go to another place. So that if we will study about this all phenomena, like this phenomena is involved the detachment of soil particle with soil mass, and then its movement by the erosive agents from one place to another place, and when sufficient energy is not available into this erosive agent, then this third phase will come, that is called a deposition. Means it will be leave at any place where it will go, that will leave at that place. So this was about the erosion of soil. Means soil erosion is a very bad effect, and it is a completely destruction of soil particles and destruction of the soil fertility also. And so that if we will define this soil erosion, is like it is defined as a detachment, transportation and deposition of soil particle from one place to another place under the influence of wind, water or gravity force. So this is called as soil erosion. Soil erosion can be defined as the detachment, transportation and deposition of soil particle from one place to another place by some external agent, and these agents are like wind, water or gravity forces, is called as erosion of soil. First of all, first phenomena it is involved is the detachment. Detachment is the detachment of soil particle from its mass particle, from the mass, and then it's a transportation by any erosive agent. Erosive agent are what? Wind or water, running water. So then it's transportation, this soil particle transportation from this place to another place, and then it's then it's deposition to the any place, like when the wind speed will be reduced or water is not present, then that will be stopped at any place. So this is called as deposition. So the detachment, transportation and detachment of soil particles from one place to another place by the action of wind, water and gravity forces is called as soil erosion. And this erosive agent are wind, water and gravity forces. These are the external force, external agent that will be responsible for the erosion of soil. So this due to some atmospheric activity, topmost layer of soil has been reduced, the fertility has been reduced, or the topmost layer has been moved from one place to another place, is called as soil erosion. So this was about the soil erosion. Now comes to the next thing. What is the reason behind this soil erosion? What are the main reason for this soil erosion? So the main causes of soil erosion: destruction by natural productive cover by indiscriminate cutting down of trees. So deforestation is the reason behind this soil erosion. Because of deforestation, the cutting down of tree is there, and due to cutting down of tree, soil will lose its fertility and the compaction is not there. So if tree layer is there, if tree was there, then soil will be tightly bound with the roots of the tree. But due to this deforestation, it will be present loosely on the top layer of the soil, and due to this the soil erosion will happen. This will be so to stop soil erosion, deforestation, afforestation is a very important thing. So afforestation should be done to stop soil erosion. Next point is overgrazing of vegetative cover. Overgrazing by cattle, overgrazing by livestock, because overgrazing, little grass is there on the top layer of soil. So due to overgrazing this soil, these grasses will be reduced, and due to this reduction of the soil will lose its compacts. It will be not tightly bound with the root, and due to this erosion will be happen. Because soil is not tightly bound with the roots, so it may be detached by any little bit external force. If runoff water will come, if wind will come, so it will be moved by any little kind of force. Next point is the forest fire or improper use of lands. Forest fire is again the reason of this soil erosion, and forest fire is also a natural causes of this soil erosion. And forest fire is again what happened due to the fire. Forest will be completely vanished out, and this will lose the compaction of soil. Then soil will be not tightly bound with the topmost layer, and this will be going to reduce the fertility of soil, and keeping the land barren, subjected to the action of rain and wind. If a barren land is there, if the land is totally barren, then this erosion will cause. Barren land erosion will cause. Barren land. Next is the growing of crop that accelerate soil erosion. Means some crops are there that will sometimes accelerate soil erosion also. Removal of organic matters and plant nutrients by injurious cropping pattern. So due to this some removal of some organic matter and plant nutrients by some of the cropping pattern. Cultivation along the land and the faulty methods of irrigation. So this cultivation along with the land and some faulty method of irrigation is there, means some wrong method of irrigation due to this overutilization of land resources, overutilization of this water resources, means due to the overgrazing, sometimes more and more it will be leave at barren land. So any misproper handling, any mishandling with the land resource will lead towards this soil erosion. Means anything that is going to harm the way of this land resources will be created this soil erosion. So this land degradation will be also responsible for this soil erosion. This like the deforestation, overgrazing by livestock, improper crop rotation system. So all the bad practices of agriculture, bad practices of irrigation will lead toward this soil erosion. That's why the proper handling and management of soil is very much important, because soil is our very important natural resource, and this will becomes under the land resource. That's why this soil erosion is a very important to study, because this is the common problem around the world in today's world. Because so, due to over deforestation is there, desertification is there, soil erosion is there. So all these are global environmental issues that have been connected with each other, and this will lead toward this climate change. If we'll talk about this, soil erosion will cause towards this reduction in the forest cover, reduction in the loss of wildlife, extinction of many important species. So that all these issues, all these today's world issue are almost connected with each other. That's why this is a very important topic to study. Next is the what are the effects of this soil erosion. So some of the effects of this soil erosion are: it will lose the soil fertility. We already knows that, already I have discussed that it will loss of soil fertility. So loss of soil fertility is there. Next is it is affecting the crop production, reducing the production of crop and raising of the beds of stream and river. Thus, by reducing their capacity and consequently spilling of the flood water into the adjoining area, silting of the reservoir and other storage facilities, reducing their capacity and useful life. So, what will happen? Due to this soil erosion, this land flood or surface runoff will make a pathway like this inside the and this pathway is there, and due to this pathway, silting is there, silting of reservoir and other storage activity facilities is there. So this will be going to reduce the capacity and the useful life. Next is the damage to agriculture land, railways and roads due to soil deposition. So, due to this soil erosion, this will be going to damage some of the agricultural lands, railways. Means this will be deposition due to this wind force. That soil particle will move from one place to another place, and it will be leave where the wind will be reduced. So sometimes it will went out till the railways and the roads. That will be causes blockage in the road, accidents also. So these are the reason of the soil deposition. Means due to this erosion, the soil deposition will occur, and this soil deposition will take the soil from one place to another place. From it will going to damage any agricultural land. Means some crops is there, but due to deposition, some of the layer of soil will come, and this will be going to destruct the cropland. It will, and due to deposition, the soil particle will come from one place, and it will fall on railway tracks, sometimes on highways. So this was about that. Due to this soil deposition, this kind of effects will become on the soil erosion. So these are the harmful effect, negative effect that has been related with this soil erosion. Now let's start the different thing, that is the desertification. So desertification is the expansion of dry land due to poor agriculture practices. Desertification is nothing. It is a conversion of any forest land into a dry land due to some bad practices, due to some human induced behavior. And these bad practices are like overgrazing, degradation of soil fertility and the structures of the soil structure. So this is called as desertification. It is an expansion of dry lands. It is an expansion of dry lands due to poor agriculture practices like overgrazing, degradation of soil fertility and structures of soil. Desertification will leads to the conversion of any agriculture land into a dry land, and this dry land is all due to the bad human behavior. So desertification is an expansion of dry land due to poor agriculture practices, poor human induced behavior, so that it will be going to be reduced by some overgrazing activity, degradation of soil fertility and destruction of soil structure. So there are mainly two causes of desertification. First one is the climatic causes. Second is the human activity. So climatic variations are like variation in the climate and the human activities that can be regarded as the two main causes of desertification. So two main causes of desertification is, first one is the climatic variation and human activities. And desertification is a conversion of any a good land into a desert area. If we will understand it in a normal language, conversion of land conversion of land into a desert area is called as desertification. So this was about desertification, and desertification is always also a global environmental problem due to this soil fertility, due to this overgrazing, due to deforestation, due to many activities, human induced behavior. This will be going to lead, and desertification is a many expansion of this forest land has been converted into a desert land due to this desertification process. Now comes to the reason by which the fertile land become a desert due to the natural or human made causes. So the main reason behind this desertification is the first one is the deforestation, means clearing of forest and overgrazing of cattle, means overgrazing by livestock. So these are the causes of desertification. Next is the climate change, that is change in climate pattern, and human behavior, and unsustainable agriculture, means over exploitation of natural resources. Natural resource. Then irresponsible irrigation, means poor irrigation method. Next is the flooding and topsoil erosion. Again, it is a soil erosion. And next is the soil pollution due to heavy metals. So this is the main reason behind this desertification. And reason behind this, some are natural reason also, but some are human induced reason, and anthropogenic also. So anthropogenic, if we will discuss about the anthropogenic reasons, like that will be due to man-made behavior. So if this mostly are man-made reason, like deforestation is also man-made, overgrazing, climate change, unsustainable agriculture. All these practices are man-made only. Irresponsible irrigation, flooding. You can say flood. We can say that it may be a natural reason, but nowadays due to this deforestation, climate change, flood is very common because of these means bad weather condition. Bad change in the seasonal variation of weather will causes flood and topsoil erosion also. Next is the soil pollution. So these are the reasons that has been related with this desertification. It is a process by which fertile lands become a desert land due to some natural or human induced causes. So deforestation, as we know, deforestation means clearing of forests, cutting of green trees. Overgrazing means overgrazing by a cattle, overgrazing of grasses by a cattle or by livestock. Climate change is there, change in the uneven climate pattern is there. Sometimes that will be early monsoon, sometimes late monsoon. Due to late monsoon, it will be destruct the vegetation of any area. Unsustainable agriculture, like over exploitation of agriculture and agriculture products. Irresponsible irrigation means bad kind of irrigation, like irrigation at very high level. Irrigation with the irresponsible, with the over exploitation of water and water resources. Next is the flood is again due to the rain. Sometimes very early arrival of monsoon will leads to the flood, and sometimes late arrival of monsoon and too much amount of rain is there, that will be leads to flooding and erosion of topsoil. Next is the soil pollution by any fertilizers, like organic chemical fertilizers will have heavy metals, like toxic heavy metals. So this toxic heavy metal is going to pollute the soil pollution. So these are the reasons behind this desertification. Because of these reasons, desertification is going to happen, and desertification is a very bad weather condition, or like very bad condition of soil. Like any fertile land, any fertile soil is going to be converted into a infertile, or it will become a totally desert. Some dry condition will be created at a place, is called as desertification. So we'll discuss about the reasons behind this desertification. First one is the climatic variation. Climatic variation means those reasons like change in climate, drought, moisture loss on the global level. So climate, if we'll talk about the variation in climate, this variation in climates will lead toward this desertification. So the variation in climates, like first one is the climate change. Drought condition will create, sometime dry weather is there, moisture loss on a global level. So this desertification is the reason on the global level. Also human activities, due to this human activities like overgrazing, deforestation, and removal of the natural vegetation cover by taking too much fuel load, like sometimes agriculture activity in the vulnerable ecosystem of arid and semi-arid areas, which are thus strained beyond their capacity. These activities are triggered by population growth and the impact of market economy and poverty. So these are the reason behind human activities that has been causing desertification. Means those human activity which is triggering this desertification. So agriculture activities in vulnerable ecosystem of arid and semi-arid areas, which are thus strained beyond their activities. These activities are triggered by population growth and the impact on the market economy and poverty. And next point is also related with this desertification is the population growth. Population level of vulnerable dry land have a close relationship with development pressure on the land. Obviously, population explosion is again related with this desertification. Population explosion is the word that is related with the desertification. What will happen? There is a close relationship between development pressure on land by human activities. This is the main causes of the desertification, because population will increase and this will demand more natural resources, more food. So when demand will increase, there will be more pressure on the lands. So this pressure will lead toward the more and more uses of this land, and this is the main factor behind this desertification, because due to over exploitation of land resources, improper irrigation system will also lead toward this desertification, because due to overpopulation, the demands on the land resource has been increased. The demand of food, shelter, everything has been increased, and due to more demand, more type of chemical fertilizers should be used. Improper management of irrigation is there, and all these activities will lead toward this desertification. So these are the principal causes of desertification. Now, this is the process of this desertification. So all are interconnected. Means if we'll talk about the population growth, population explosion, deforestation, and climate change. So these three are main reasons behind this desertification. Population growth is the population explosion, deforestation, and climate change. So all are connected. So these three are global environmental problem, and these three will lead towards this process of desertification. So if more population is there, then the demand on food, fuel, and houses has been increased. This will lead towards this deforestation, or sometimes grassland is overgrazed and soil become bare. Barren land will be created. Next is the climate change. Due to climate change, less rain is there, so then soil become barren, and cutting down of trees will also make the soil barren. Barren land will be created. So this was the reason, means like the population growth, deforestation, and climate change all are interconnected, and this will causes a soil to lose its fertility because of more demand of food, fuel, and housing need. Due to climate change, less rain is there. Due to deforestation, no tree is there. So that's why this will become a land as a barren land. And then soil erosion will occur due to by wind or water. And the soil is eroded by wind and water. And then that land become infertile, no plant growth, land become desert. So this will be the final result of this kind of behavior. Final result of this behavior by human being. Behavior of human being. What will happen? Land become infertile, no plant will grow, no land becomes desert. So this is the process of conversion of a good land into a desert land. Fertile land to a desert land. Desert land due to by the activity of population explosion, deforestation and climate change. All three are the main factor that will be responsible for this desertification, and all these are interconnected also. Population growth, climate change and deforestation, all these are interconnected also, and they are the main reason behind this deforestation. Due to all these activities, soil will become a barren land, and this will cause by easily erosion will occur by the wind and water. And due to this erosion of erosion, the land will lose its fertility and no plant will grow, land become desert land. Now the effects of deforestation. So first effect is the destruction of topsoil. Means destruction of topsoil lose towards the, it will lose the fertility of soil. Loss the fertility of soil. Loss of land's ability to sustain crop, livestock or human activities. Obviously, if land will be not lose its ability, it will lose its a good quality, then the crop will not grow, livestock and human being will not be survive on that area. Increase in price of agriculture goods. Obviously, famine will come, like a famine condition will come. Next is the threatened livelihood of vulnerable population on planet. It will be going to threat the livelihood of and some vulnerability on the population of any wildlife or human being. Wildlife or human being. Next is the increase in the intensity of wildfire and winds. Obviously, the intensity of wildfire means like forest fire has been increased. Forest fire and wind has been increased. So these are the effects of desertification. Means this desertification will causes destruction of topsoil, loss of land's ability to sustain crops, increase in the price of agriculture good, it will threat the livelihood of vulnerable population on the planet, and then it will be going to increase the intensity of forest fire and wind. Now comes to the next topic, that is what will be the solution of this desertification. Now what will be the solution of this desertification? So this desertification can be stopped by shifting of plant-based balanced diet. If we will shift on the plants-based balanced diet, then this will be going to stop the desertification, because overgrazing has been stopped. Overgrazing is stopped, and this will lead to, if we will shift on the plant-based diet, means vegetarian diet, then if we'll stop eating non-veg, so more livestock is not there, livestock, and then the overgrazing is also stopped. Stop locally grown produce to reduce carbon footprint and sustain local agriculture and livelihood. Means low carbon footprint. If we'll focus on the low carbon footprint, then this will lead towards the sustainability of agriculture and livelihood. Sustainable agriculture is very much important. Sustainable agriculture. Agriculture is very much important. Reduce food waste by buying only what you need and how much you need. Swap out chemical grade fertilizers for homemade compost and manure. Reduce the use of chemical fertilizer. Use of chemical fertilizers, because chemical fertilizer will have many inorganic heavy metals, having many heavy metals This will lead towards the air pollution, water pollution, ground pollution. Create a green space for engaging in tree planting in individual and corporate of levels, means green green corridor or afforestation should be done. Afforestation should be done. Next is the plant green roof to cool home in summer and regulate temperature in the winter. So all these are the solution of this desertification, means all, if it will be connected with a normal individual. If a normal individual will things happen, if they think it is my duty to protect the environment, if they will going to shift towards plant based diet, they will doing the sustainable agriculture, if they will start using manures, stopping this chemical fertilizer, automatically this kind of condition will be reduced. Now, next point is the land degradation. So, land degradation can be considered in terms of the loss of actual or potential productivity or utility as a result of natural or anthropic factors. It is the decline in land quality or reduction in its productivity. So, this will lead to the degradation. Degradation of land can be considered in terms of loss of actual or potential productivity. Means the actual or potential productivity has been lost due to some anthropogenic reason or a natural factor. It is a decline in land quality or reduction in its productivity is called as land degradation. So if we'll talk about in context of productivity, land degradation results from mismatched land quality and land use. So reason behind the land degradation is the improper agriculture, soil pollution, soil pollution, soil erosion, siltation. So these are the reason behind the land degradation. The degradation in the quality of land and in terms of loss of actual or potential productivity or utility as a result of natural or anthropic factor is called as land degradation. It is the declining in the land quality or reduction in its productivity is called as land degradation. And if we'll talk about in context of the productivity, land degradation results from mismatch between land quality and land uses. Next is the this is a scenario of land degradation of whole world. If we'll talk about the continent of Africa, total area it is there and degraded land is there. So 73% of the land is coming under the category of degraded land. Like in Asia, 71% is the degraded land. Asia and Australia and the Pacific Asia is like 54% is the degraded land. In Europe, 65% is the degraded land. North America, 74%. South America, 73%. So in total, if we'll talk about the total world, 70% of the land area has been degraded because the only currently 6 to 7 million hectares of lands lost annually through soil erosion, desertification. So this land degradation, around 6 to 7 million of hectares of lands are lost annually due to the reason behind this is the soil erosion and desertification. It is going to affect about 1/6 of the world population and 1/4 of the world's land, and salinization, that is affect some 20 million hectares of irrigated lands. So this is the scenario of land degradation at a global level. At a global level, about 1/6 of the world population and 1/4 of the world's lands, and salinization affects some 20 million hectares of irrigated land. So this is the context of the irrigation of land degradation scenario in the whole world, and the reason of this land degradation is the soil fertility and desertification. That's why this land degradation is a great concern, and this soil erosion, desertification, and land degradation, all these issues are connected with each other. And this reason of this issue is sometimes man-made also, sometimes natural also. So now comes to the next thing, that is the degradation of land. Land degradation has been grouped into 6 classes. So first of all, degradation of land by the water erosion. It is nothing but the soil erosion by water activity. Soil erosion by water. Water erosion cover all forms of soil erosion by water, including like sheet and reel erosion and gully erosion. So soil erosion is of many different types, like sheet erosion is there, reel erosion and gully erosion. Sheet in the form of sheet that soil surface has been removed. In the form of reels, this soil erosion has been removed in, and sometimes it will be forming a gully like things. So all due to some wind action by some surface runoff, will this kind of erosion will occur. So human induced intensification of landsliding caused by vegetation clearance, road construction is also included in this category. So is some human induced behavior, like due to vegetation clearance, road construction, landsliding will causes due to vegetation clearance and road construction in a hilly area. This kind of condition will be created, and that will leads toward the land degradation by water erosion. Next is the wind or erosion. So it will refers to the loss of soil by wind, that is nothing but the soil erosion by the wind. So wind erosion will also causes the degradation in the quality of land. It refers to the loss of soil by wind that will occur primarily in the dry region. The next point is that soil fertility, declining in the soil fertility, like reduction in the fertility of soil. So decline in soil fertility is indeed a major effects of erosion. The terms is used here of cover effects of process other than erosion. The main process involved are, first one is the lowering of soil organic matters. Lowering of soil organic matter. Organic matter is that is associated with the decline in soil biological activity. Next is the degradation of soil physical properties. Soil physical properties like structure, aeration, water holding capacity is the degradation of all these quality is brought by the reduced organic matters and the adverse change in soil nutrients resources, including reduction in availability of major nutrients, onset of micronutrient deficiencies, and development of nutrient imbalance. So these are the first one is the major micronutrient deficiencies and nutrient imbalance also will lead towards this land degradation. Buildup of toxicities, primarily acidification through incorrect fertilizer use. Due to this chemical fertilizers, acidification condition will occur. And this acidification will add toxicity to the land area, and this is again a major reason for land degradation. So next is the reason is the waterlogging. Waterlogging condition also causing the land degradation, because it will going to degrade the land productivity through rising groundwater close to the soil surface. It will also include under this heading in the sub forms termed ponding, where the water table rises above the surface water. Means water table is going to be rises above to the surface water. So this is called as a waterlogging condition will be created, and this condition will lead toward the loss of productivity of soil. Next point is the salinization. It is used in its broad sense. It refers to all type of soil degradation that brought about by the increase of soil salts in the soil. This is called as salinization. Increase of salts in the soil will lead toward the soil salinization. Next is the lowering of water table. Means water table, lowering in the water table is also the reason behind this land degradation, because self-explanatory forms of land degradation brought about through tube wells, pumping of groundwater for irrigation exceeding the natural recharge capacity. This occurs in area of non-saline groundwater, pumping for urban and industrial use of further causes. So this will be lowers the water table of any area, and this is going to be reduced, increase the land degradation of any area. Next, point related with this land degradation is the restoration of land, like restoration of land into their own way by stopping the land by getting degraded. Means restoration of land by the ecological restoration of a site by natural landscape and habitat safe for human, wildlife and plant communities. Means ecological restoration of any land that will be safe for the habitat, natural landscape. It will safe for human beings, wildlife and plant communities is called as land restoration. Means ecological restoration. Ecological restoration is the restoring back the capacity of land. Restoring back the capacity of land. Capacity of land. Make it very useful for the landscape, habitat, safe for human beings, wildlife and plant communities. So it is not land restoration and land reclamation is not always same. Whereas existing ecosystem was altered or destroyed to give a way for cultivation or construction of land. Land restoration can enhance the supply of valuable ecosystem service that will going to benefit the people of that area. So this restoration is very much important. It will be bring back the process of land quality due to the ecological restoration of any site by some natural landscape, by some afforestation, by stopping the over exploitation of this agriculture activity and making the land safe for human being, wildlife and plant communities is called as land restoration. So this lecture was about the land restoration, and the land restoration is very much important. Now, thank you for today's lecture.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.